welcome to Appalachian Eats. I'm Jessica DeLong, and this is my mother-in-law,
Dottie DeLong.
and today we're going to show you one of our favorite holiday treats. But first of all, I would like to give a big shout out to Mandy in the Making for hosting the collab, where this will be linked to. And if you look in the description box below, you'll see a link to Mandy, and she will have a playlist for all of those who join the collab. So first of all, we want to introduce our cookie, and it is called
Buttercream Thumbprint Cookies.
They are delicious. The first time I had ever tasted these was when Richard and I think we were dating, maybe the first year we were married. But you guys would do this cookie exchange at work, and you had made a bunch of those, and you brought all these cookies home, and they're just fantastic. They really are.
And the first time I ate them was from my sister-in-law, Wilda Harrison, and she used to bring them to the family Christmas get-together, where we had tons of homemade candies and cookies from everybody. And these were so delicious that I made a fool out of myself. I kept slipping in to get those particular cookies, and I would just leave one or two just to say I didn't eat them all.
That's the way I feel too. So we'll go on ahead and give you the ingredients to those cookies. And you're going to need 1 stick of softened butter, a 1/4 cup of sugar, 1 egg yolk, 1 teaspoon of vanilla, and I like to use pure vanilla extract, 1 cup of plain or all-purpose flour, and 1/4 teaspoon of salt. I've already put it in here. I use pink Himalayan salt. So, Mima, I'm going to ask you, yes, go ahead and blend that in. So we're going to get right into putting these together. They are very, very simple, and one thing I really, really like about these cookies is that you do not have to put them in the refrigerator to chill them before you make them. I don't know how many times I've looked online or got in a book and went to make a cookie only to find out it had to chill for half an hour or an hour, and that really disappoints me. Because when I want cookies, I want them right then. So we're going to put in the butter and the sugar, and we're going to cream these together. Okay, after we have creamed the sugar and what did I put in here? Butter. the butter cookies. I'm going to put the egg yolk in here, and I had kind of poked a hole in it so it wasn't as firm as I like. And then we're going to put in the teaspoon of vanilla. Okay. Mima's been my sous chef. She's cleaning that up for me. So now we're going to add in this cup of flour with our 1/4 teaspoon of salt. And these come together very quickly. Pretty much, what do you think? Since you're the master thumbprint cookie maker.
Yeah, scrape down the sides a little bit.
Okay.
It'll be good.
Alright, go ahead and pull this off. Ooh, don't want to get on the counter. This is Lucy and Ethel at their best. Okay.
There we go.
You want to take it on over there a little bit? And
Can.
okay. So what you're going to do is, after you get this incorporated and it gets to a nice consistency, let's see if we can get our other photographer, maybe we can hold it up to the camera over here and get the consistency of it here. Yeah, there we go. Get a view of that. Alright, so it should look like this, and where it does have the butter in it, it's easy to, when you start, because you're going to have to roll these out, you can get them to stick together if you think it just feels a little too crumbly, because it's going to be good. Alright, so what we're going to use, we had some walnut halves that we've chopped up very fine. I mean, you want them pretty, you don't want like big pieces because the big pieces can fall off, so you want them kind of fine here. And she's going to make some, what would you say, teaspoon?
Yeah, we make them pretty small because they're it's not that they're rich, but they're just so good that I really enjoy.
Can't have them too big.
Well, I enjoy smaller bites just because, and my hands are clean.
We washed hands.
And I don't want them, I don't think any bigger than this. And they don't really, because there's no leavening in them, spread out a lot.
Okay.
You know, so they don't get huge.
Okay, hold up the camera a little bit there.
Something like this.
Alright.
I'm sure that's the size that I...
We're going to try to find a scoop about that size because it would come in really, really handy. So she's just going to give them a nice little coat in the walnut mixture, which is just walnuts. I don't know why I said mixture because it's not mixed with anything. And then you give a little...
It's thumbprint, but I use a finger.
she uses her finger, girl. There we go. That's it. And it will, then they basically come out of the oven looking just like that. Just a little brown. You don't want to bake these until they are like really golden brown. You don't want like a deep golden brown. Now, we have already preset our oven to 325 degrees. It's a low moderate oven. Like I said, you don't want really, really dark cookies here. So we're going to let Meemaw finish rolling these out and putting them on the cookie sheet. Need some help? So this is the last one. It's not, it came out so tiny.
It's a fairy cookie.
It's a fairy cookie. There you go. There you go. There's the last. So. Alright, so as you can see, we have made, what is this? We have about 19 cookies there, I think. If I hadn't made some of them a little bigger, we probably would have had 20 cookies. But this recipe does not make a huge amount of cookies, and when I make it, I usually double or triple because I really like these cookies, and so do my kids. So, but if you just want to try them out, the recipe without it being doubled is perfect for that. So we're going to go on ahead and clean this up because then we have a really delicious buttercream to make that goes in the middle of these. And so we're going to put these into the oven for, I think it's 10 to 12 minutes.
12 minutes.
At 325. So we'll be back with you after we get our patties clean. Alright, so we have taken the cookies out of the oven, and I'm going to have Meemaw hold one up and show you guys just how lightly they are baked. They are not, you know, a really dark cookie, kind of like a shortbread. Shortbreads are just lightly baked, so that's what we got going on with this cookie. So as these cool, we're going to come on over here to the mixer and put together our buttercream. And I've changed out my paddle for the whip here. And for the buttercream, it takes a 1/4 cup of softened butter and 3 ounces of softened cream cheese. Then we have a teaspoon of vanilla and 2 2/3 cups of powdered sugar. So I'm going to put these two in first, the butter and the cream cheese. And if you begin to whip this, and all the ingredients together, and it's still a little thick, you can add a little bit of milk in there to get the consistency that you need, because we're actually going to put it into a piping bag and pop it into the cookies. This is where the mess comes in. Okay, now I think we're gonna need a little bit of milk.
I do
So
too.
you can get some out of the fridge for us. It's like falling on the government.
One thing that I would do, I mean, I have done in the past, is if I have butter flavoring,
Yeah.
instead of using all milk, I would use some butter flavoring in
Well, you
it.
know I have butter flavor.
You can add that too, it just makes it richer.
Okay. All right, so I'll go grab the butter flavor. All right, so here you drop some butter flavor. Oops.
That'll work.
It's a little more than a few, but that's okay. I'm just trying to get this to a good consistency. All right, so let's check it and see if we think it's going to be poppable. Okay. I hate to, I'll use the back.
Yeah,
of
go
this.
ahead. I've used.
Stick my finger in it.
Yeah,
Though.
not if you're gonna lick it.
It is a little thick. I think it might be a little hard to. So back to the.
Drop of milk.
Just a drop. That's looking much better.
Yeah. Give it a try.
Okay. Now open that. So we're gonna fling some of it off. Okay. Alright. Now it's your turn. I know your hands are clean. I trust you.
Yeah, that's gonna be good. Let's see. Yeah.
Okay. Alright. Well, into the piping bag. Now this is stiffer than your normal buttercream for a cake. I mean, it's not going to be the fluffy, you don't want it fluffy. It will be stiffer for sure. And this recipe, I'm like you, it seems like this makes a ton of icing for what?
It does.
We may have to lick the bowl
Well,
later.
that just gives you a good excuse to make another batch of cookies.
That's right, that's right. And maybe that's what I've done in the past is, because this was out of my cookbook I had written in when I first got married. And I did go, I haven't went back and found, I was like, oh, that's not the right amount of that. But experience. Okay, so there you go. You show me how you, it's a mess, you might have to fix it to your hands, but. I'm gonna squeeze some out here and see, get it started.
Still a little thick, but it'll work.
Okay. Kind of like that.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Let me get one up here now.
That'll be. I'll lick that later. Nice butter and cream cheese icings. Delicious. Ta-da!
Get a little more out on yours. Try it a little further out.
Oh, okay.
This is going to take some.
Well, we gotta get back to practice. You know, Christmas is coming soon. People might be getting
Well,
these
these are
for
my
gifts.
favorite. This would be for me. There you go. Oh yeah.
Ta-da!
Perfect. That's much better than mine. I should just eat that.
Well, you know, the first one's always, you gotta try it
good.
So maybe this all won't go to waste anyway. Maybe
Right.
And it's warm. It's actually warming up in my hand. The butter is, and it's easier to pipe. At first, it was really difficult, but it is much better now. And I've seen this recipe, and some people put like jam and things like that.
Yeah,
You know,
and I've had it with jam, but I just love the buttercream.
Well, I wonder if you put a little bit of raspberry jam in this, like underneath of it. You think?
Oh, you could, yeah.
That'd be
Very
good.
good.
Like a raspberry cheesecake.
But what makes these cookies so special is the buttercream topping.
Yeah. And you can color it too if you want to put
Mhm.
coloring for any reason.
Because this is like a shortbread, and it's not really sweet.
Mhm.
So once you put that cream cheese on the buttercream topping, it really what sets it off.
And we're not professional cake decorators, so if you are and you're watching this, I don't know why you'd be watching this. But this is made with love.
Looks good.
How can it look bad? You just keep piling the
I
icing.
keep moving this farther away from you.
Well, we have coffee, and we are going to have some here in just a second. I have a production crew that needs some coffee and cookies too. They've been hard at work for us.
Good job.
Ta-da! We're all done. All right. So let's get some cups. You want to get the cream out, and I'll go get the coffee mugs. Look at the ratio of I see the cookie. That looks pretty good. Yep. That one's mine. All right. Taste test. Let's try it.
Yeah, we got it.
We've always
That
had
was
it. This recipe.
Thank you again, Wilda.
Thank you, Aunt Wilda. These are so good. They are they're crumbly, but not shortbread crumbly. I know we said shortbread a lot, but you know the shortbread. I mean, often I get it all over the place when I eat it. But it still has a nice soft bite to it. It's not like it's not going to snap when you eat it.
No, this is good.
And the icing is just, you can't go wrong there.
I haven't made these in years. I forgot how good they were.
Well, how are we going to keep kids out of them?
Eat them all.
Right now? We'll work out something. So, have a cup of coffee? Make coffee? That's pretty good. All right, so thank you once again, Aunt Wilda. We really appreciate it. We love these cookies. And every time I make them, I do think about Aunt Wilda, since you told me that's where you got it from. So we would like for you to tune in next time to Appalachian Eats. We're going to try to do a few more holiday favorites. This is one of our favorites, but we'll try to pull out a few more out of the recipe box.